much sauce. That's too much sauce. Got too much sauce. That's too much sauce. I got too much sauce.
Salt is the enemy. Shake it like a salt shaker.
Shake it like a salt shaker. Shake it like a salt shaker. Shake it like a salt shaker.
No. Don't shake the salt shaker. Throw the salt away. Isn't it bad luck if you like that? Well, no, don't do that. So don't shake it like a salt shaker. Put the salt down. Because it's too much salt. It's too much salt. It's too much salt. It's too much salt. Hey guys, welcome back to PHIT Pharmacist, and today I'm going to talk about a very, very serious epidemic that is hurting, killing many Americans, and it's hurting us. It's destroying our health, destroying families. And what is this? What is this thing I'm talking about? It's salt. Salt. Why is salt bad? Like what makes salt, or seasonings or whatever, anything that's salt based? Salt retains water, increased blood pressure, has an effect on health, has a negative effect on your weight. It can cause weight increase, weight gain pretty fast if you are not watching your diet. So, if you're on a meal plan or you're meal prepping, you're working out, and you find out, hey, I'm not losing any weight, I'm not making any gains, you might want to assess your diet and see what is in your diet, how much sodium you're putting in your diet that might be reducing your gains. So today I'm going to talk about salt and how you can reduce it. I read an article online. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Oh, new phone. New phone flow. iPhone 10. Got rid of the iPhone 8 Plus. No, iPhone 6 Plus. It was giving me too much problems. I had to just cut it off. So this one has face recognition. So, face recognition. I just be like, boom, unlocked. So anyways, back on topic. I read an article, kidney.org. Basically is about some ways you can help to reduce salt intake in your diet. Let me shout out to the writer. It is the National Kidney Foundation and Council of Renal Nutrition member Linda Ulrich. I'll put the link. I guess I'll put the link below. It's 10 ways to help reduce your salt intake in your diet. Basically, I'm gonna go over some of those things she stated. If you want the full article, just click the link below, and then you'll see what she has to say. So, I found some of these actually useful, and I do them myself. Let me put this salt thing down. It makes too much noise. It sounds like a maraca. Is that a maraca? I don't know. All right. So first, use fresh rather packaged meats, fresh cut beef, chicken, pork. So basically, she's saying it's better to use fresh foods rather than frozen or canned foods, because canned foods do contain preservatives. Salt is used to preserve some of these foods in the can. So when you do use canned foods, I always try to rinse the salt out to reduce the salt, to reduce the sodium. So that's one way to reduce sodium. Fresh foods over frozen all the time. But canned foods are much cheaper. So if you're on a tight budget, just remember to rinse out the sodium from the foods. Second, choose fresh fruit, vegetables. So because they're low in sodium. Canned and frozen fruits also low. Yeah. So basically, it's basically the same thing as number 1. Fresh is better than frozen all the time. That goes for fruits too. I mean, besides the salt part, you know, preservatives. Some products have syrups, like fruit products have syrups, and they pack those things in there, which can increase, you know, your sugar intake. But I always, if I get something canned, I always, you know, look at the contents in the back and rinse out any excess sodium. It does help to reduce how much you're getting in. Okay, so number 3, when buying frozen vegetables, she's saying to choose labels that are fresh frozen and don't contain added seasonings or sauces. So fresh frozen is better. You know, some products are flash frozen. So if you're buying broccoli, it's gonna be fresh. Like it's fresh broccoli. It's not cooked. It's like fresh. It's uncooked, but they flash freeze it, or they just freeze it. So that's another alternative to not buying canned food. Fresh frozen. So you have to unlock this thing again. All right. Number 4. Reading food labels, watch sodium content. Yeah, so reading labels, pretty much. Reading your food labels is, read your labels. You could learn a lot. You could learn a lot from just reading labels about what you're eating, about what you're eating. If you read the label, you see a lot of information you can get from it. The recommended sodium intake, American Heart Association recommends about 2,300 milligrams a day. That's no more than that. Ideally is about 1,500. Most Americans surpass that by far daily. I mean, I know I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I like salty food, seasonings, and all that stuff. But that's the recommended daily amount. I'm gonna show you guys a measurement of how much that actually is. Because when you're seasoning, I know when I'm seasoning, sometimes I just kind of guesstimate how much I'm putting. I don't really use measuring utensils when I'm cooking. I just kind of guess, that's how much I need. So one way is to measure it. Number 4? No, number 5. Compare various brands until you find one has very low. So yeah, so choosing brands that have different amounts of sodium. Certain brands have a low sodium version of what they already have. I know Prego, it's called Prego, like pregnant. What's Prego? Like, I think it's called Prego. They make like a chicken noodle soup or a beef noodle soup. They have a low sodium version of that. So yeah, those, you could find alternatives to what you already like. They have, you know, the lean version, like, you know, that's certain cereals with low sodium, with certain brands with low sodium. So you know, choose wisely. Search the brand, search online, see if there are alternatives to what you already eat. Number 6, select spices or seasonings that do not list sodium on their labels. I.e., so choose garlic powder over garlic salt. Okay, that's pretty accurate. That's a good tip. You have seasonings and you have you have spices and you have seasonings. Spices typically don't contain salt. Seasonings most of the time they do. So, but always look at the back and look at the nutrition facts and see how much sodium they contain. This article is recommending you to use with spices with less sodium or no sodium at all. You know, use your judgment to pick which ones you want, because I know when I'm cooking, I still add additional seasonings on top without sometimes realizing that, you know, some of the additives or the seasoning on the spices you have might already contain that. So look at some spices might contain salt or seasonings in them, and then you're just adding on more. So that's one way to reduce sodium intake. Next, we have, unlock it again. This is crazy. I said before dining out, do your research, visit restaurants, websites, which should list the sodium content of various dishes. Yeah, some restaurants don't have nutrition facts. I'm sure you can ask for them if you go to a restaurant. So this article is basically stating that, you know, kind of look on their website and see their nutrition facts of certain foods before you go out and choose them, which is a great idea. Number 8, beware of products that don't taste especially salty but still have high sodium content, such as cottage cheese. Ew, I don't like cottage cheese. Cottage cheese looks like vomit, but besides the point, that's a very true statement. You might not taste the salt, or it might not taste as salty, or you know, it might not taste salty, but just because it doesn't taste salty does not mean it doesn't contain sodium or salt. Like, for example, soda. You know, like even Diet Coke. If you look at Diet Coke has a certain amount of sodium in it, but you taste it, like, oh, it's sweet. You know, it's sweet. There's no way it has salt in it, but it does. So, yeah, just look at the back, read the nutrition facts, get a lot of facts from there. I almost had it, damn. Okay, number 9, if you have elevated blood pressure, dietary sodium restriction can not only lower your blood pressure, but can enhance your response to blood pressure medication. Boom, this is the pharmacy part of it. You thought you were gonna get away. You thought I wasn't gonna talk about pharmacy, but this is PHIT Pharmacist. We always come back to this. So, you know, I'm seeing patients, many patients have this problem. They say, oh, my blood pressure medication is not working. Like, it's not working. So I'm going to the doctor telling me to increase it. You know, now I have to take, you know, double the medications. Pill burden's increasing. I'm taking more pills. Yada 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 yada. When in actuality, you can have a better response to these drugs if you watch what you're eating. I mean, it's like duh, but you know, everyone is tempted. Everyone has their, you know, their foods that they like to eat. But if you realize, if you can reduce the sodium you're taking, you can have your medications can work better. They'll work better. You see a drop in your blood pressure. You're eating good. You're eating right. You're exercising. So yeah. So I mean, reducing your salt intake can reduce your blood pressure, because eating more salt increases your blood pressure. So it's like, you know, something to consider if you're taking blood pressure medication. Something to really consider. Okay, and I think we're on number 10. Number 10, salt preference is an acquired taste that can be unlearned. Article says it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get used to eating food with much lower quantity of salt. But once it's done, it's actually difficult to eat foods like potato chips because they taste way too salty, which is interesting. I mean, the human body is very complex and complicated. If you're used to eating if you're used to eating high sodium foods, anything less than that wouldn't taste seasoned, or it wouldn't taste flavor. It wouldn't have any flavor to you. So the whole point of it is to reduce your salt. I guess I'll make up a term. The whole point of that number 10 is to reduce your flavor or salt threshold. So by reducing your threshold, you know, your body and your taste buds get used to eating a certain amount of salt in your meals. So, you know, once you get used to that, anything more, anything containing more sodium will taste extremely salty. You know, so that's one thing to consider, is to, you know, try to train your body, train your mind to eat less sodium. So yeah, just by, you know, trying your best to reduce, you know, how much sodium you're getting in every meal, your body gets used to it, and then, you know, then you get used to, you know, eating that way. So that's one thing, that's a very major point to consider. So yeah, those are the 10 points of the article. Like I said, I'll put the article down below. This is the war on salt. I mean, salt has so many effects. Like, the thing is, if you can reduce how much salt, that's the ambulance. And that's the fire truck. Okay, scratch that. Okay, yeah, they got it now. Okay, so if you can reduce how much salt, if you can reduce your sodium intake, you will find out that you will actually lose more weight. You will lose weight faster, but if you find out, okay, let me just reduce how much sodium I'm eating per day, just try to reduce it. You will actually find out you lose a lot more weight than what you've been doing already. So something to consider. So yeah, check that out, try that, and let me know your results. Peace.